Welcome back to the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show. Joining us now is new Washington State Athletic Director Jon Haarlow. And Jon, first of all, welcome to our comfort surroundings here, and I hope you've made yourself comfortable as we get going here.
This is great. Love the memorabilia. Former catcher in a previous life, so love the catcher's mitt here.
All right.
We do our research, Jon. We know that. We got your catcher's mitt. We got John Olerud's helmet right there. So, we do, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, we love to have you here, and we've got so many questions to talk to you about Washington State's athletic program. But first of all, I got to ask you, you know, like when you look at what you're taking over there, and how's everything going so far in the transition?
I think it's been good. We've been, you know, even in the interim, we've been pedal to the metal because there's nothing but opportunities in front of us right now. And so I think while there's been adversity over the last couple of years, Cougs have always punched above their weight class. And I think that we've been a resilient group over the last couple of years, maybe even longer than just this 2-year grace period with the NCAA. But new conference, you know, that we're launching, that we absolutely believe that we can compete for championships in. I would put our staff and our coaches up against anybody else. So we're grinding, and we've got that mentality, and we expect to attack this new conference as we're going to be the leaders.
And I want to get into that conference in a second, but you mentioned coaches, and I think it starts a lot of times on the football field, and there is a buzz in Pullman right now with Kirby Moore. We've heard from him on this show right here. Just tell me about this new coach for the football program, what he means to Cougar fans.
He's been tremendous. He's been a wonderful partner to administrative staff, to the campus, to the communities. He understands the state of Washington, Eastern Washington, comes from a coaching pedigree. He's had tremendous mentors in Chris Peterson and Jeff Tedford and down the list, and he's done a wonderful job assembling his staff. He's got some veterans on there. He's got some new energy. He's got former Cougs. So he understands what being a Coug is all about. You know, he grew up marching up and down the sidelines as a kid there, and so he's been tremendous. He's so gracious with his time. He understands how important it is to be relatable to the fan base and to our area, and so couldn't ask for a better coach to be able to work with.
Yeah. What will it mean to Washington State to be, you held the fort there with Oregon State for a while, which was awesome, and people love to see that. But now everybody's coming together and you're relaunching the Pac-12. How does that feel?
It feels incredible. And we're so close to this launch date, finally, too. It seemed like 2 years ago when we were talking about it, it seemed so far away, and there were so many hurdles to cross and barriers to get through to get to July 1. And we are so close. And now it's a flipping of the mindset. You know, we had success in the old Pac-12, wonderful conference with wonderful history, but we weren't a perennial powerhouse. And we believe, and we have tremendous brands coming into this new league. You name them. I think quality schools from an education standpoint, universities all want to continue to elevate their programs and their brand. But we expect, as a legacy member of this league, to lead that group, and we have to have that mentality. And so I skip up and down the hallways every day thinking we're thinking and saying, I'm probably annoying to the staff, but they've been kind enough to deal with me, but we should be the leaders of this group, and that's the mentality we approach every day with.
No, I think Cougar fans love to hear that, but you mentioned this conference. Yeah, I mean, it is rich with some history, some tradition, and Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Colorado State, Utah State. Gonzaga is going to be fun for the basketball side of things, aren't they, as well?
Absolutely. I think there's no shortage of competition up and down the sports, which is exciting. You know, you want hard competition, coaches and student athletes that are driving each other, administrators that are driving each other. It's a group of ADs that bounce ideas off each other pretty frequently. That's a good thing.
It's going to be fun, the rivalry, too. I know for years we've talked about it, Huskies and Cougs, but now you've kind of got these built-in rivalries with Oregon State, Boise State, not too far away, and then in Gonzaga. I mean, it's going to be some fun rivalries with Wazoo.
Oh, yeah, and those... You don't have to go too far to find your rivals in the grocery store or whatever else with the Cougs and Beavs and Gonzaga. I don't like to, I don't want to talk about them too much.
Paul, he had trouble saying the word.
Well, I finally got it out.
Twice already. I finally got it out.
John's having trouble getting that out of his mouth.
I have tremendous respect for their leadership, but I absolutely want to beat them every time we play. So as we should, right? But renew some legacy rivalries like we've got with Oregon State, and then embark on some new, and all in a similar geographic footprint.
I got to ask you this, before we get into NIL and some of the challenges you have as an athletic department, let's talk a little bit about the fundraising. You've got projects going on over there. I'm sure that there's things you'd like to talk about. What's some of the bigger things you have going on?
but we've got a number of projects underway right now. New football locker room. We raised $3.5 million for, which is a technology refresh. The student athletes spend so much time in that area, so nice to be able to refresh that for them. New game day experience at Giesa Field, so expanded scoreboard, lights that are colorized to sync with sound, new turf, new audio system, so it's going to be a completely reimagined game day experience, and both of those projects are completely donor funded.
Okay, so that leads us into NIL. Tell me about how Wazoo is attacking this, and you have to nowadays in college sports.
Have to. It's scholarships used to be the differentiator that got student athletes here. The new scholarship is rev share NIL deal. So we've got our group that's focused on that. We can take NIL donations through the Cougar Athletic Fund. Those go into our sport excellence funds that allow the coaches to then pass those out to their student athletes as they deem appropriate. It's very much a GM. We've got a GM on our football staff that has a algorithm and an allocation as to what position group and what position needs what percentage of those funds. And so you're not going to overpay for a wide receiver too, or you name it. So there's a lot of data behind it. It's very much a business-like metric, and you can't miss on talent anymore, because it used to be, not that you ever wanted to miss on talent, but okay, you lost a roster spot, but now when there's dollars going out the door, those are dollars we're not getting back.
It's just a roll of the dice with some of these kids, but I think the kicker should be your highest paid position. I don't know what the problem is. You're talking about receivers, but you got to put the money toward the kickers.
Paul is a former kicker at Bowling Green. He always is pushing for the kickers to get more money.
Specialist, Chris. Yeah. Specialist.
They're game changers, though.
That's right.
We know how often that's come down to that.
John,
to the leg.
He doesn't need any help, John, all right? Now, tennis players, I feel like they should get a little bit more, but that's another story for another day. With that in mind, and I jokingly talk about tennis, we've heard reports now that there's college coaches out there, Paul. We had the report from Michigan. Yep. They believe that $50 million is needed to help a football program become elite. So you're seeing universities, colleges across the country that are pushing more of an emphasis on football and in basketball. And with that, there comes loss. And we've seen, I think it's 23 programs in the last 2 weeks that have been lost. I think it's up to 9 tennis programs. Is Washington looking at that? I don't want any programs to go. I'm going to be very clear about that. But decisions have to be made, right?
They do. We know that we can't continue to do things like we've always done them. The NCAA has changed. The whole business model of it has changed. That said, we don't have any intention of making any programmatic changes at this time, but we have to continue to explore how do we maximize our revenue and the resources, and then those student athletes that are here, give them the absolute best experience that they could possibly have. And so whether they're here a year or 5 years, they're Cougs, they're ours. We want to support them in every facet, academically, in competition, and then set them up for the next phase of life. And so we also like to make sure that we're a differentiator. We've heard of a number of student athletes that will go on to other institutions, and they reflect back on their time as Cougs, like, gosh, that was the best year or couple years or whatever it was of their life. And that's impactful.
Well, it's got to be fun to wear that Coug gear, and wherever you go. I mean, I'm in Italy for the Olympics, and I got a Coug hat on. You hear somebody yell out, "Go Cougs!" I mean, it's wherever you go, right?
There's no better fan base than the Cougs, and we saw it last year at a number of our away games, whether it was in the SEC or whatever conference we were playing. The visiting or the hosting team would say your fan base is incredible. So Pullman is special. Wearing that Coug hat is special. I've never felt anything like it. It's been the most incredible 5 years that I've had, not just in the interim or now in the permanent role, but my family loves Pullman. They're all bought in the Cougs, and no place we'd rather be.
Okay, give me your top 5 places to eat. Well, give me your top 2 places to eat in Pullman. I've tried them all.
So, yeah.
Is this another endorsement deal you're talking about? Are we going to mention restaurants here?
Just in case I stop by.
They're not going to allow me into other restaurants if I don't put them on the list.
They don't have to be your top 5. Just if Paul's heading over to Pullman, where are you going to recommend?
Yeah. Broad strokes. Maybe a top 5 instead of 1 or 2 that Chris sponsors.
He would enjoy the old European for,
Absolutely. Old European, Birch and Barley, South Fork, Cella's. There's no shortage of incredible restaurants.
See, there you
Rico's, I could keep going.
That is a great answer, John. That's for sure.
Calzone, Paul, at Cella's. It's bigger than this table right here.
Again, what do you get, 50 cents for mentioning that?
One for each, yes. 50 cents off that calzone.
Okay. Listen, John, we appreciate your time, man. It's great catching up with you, and best of luck as you move forward here as the Washington State Athletic Director. I know you have a lot of challenges ahead, but we appreciate the visit today.
Absolutely. Go Cougs.
All right.